What do you want from me? Why don't you run from me? What are you wondering? What do you know?
Hey guys, what's up? So I thought I'd do a little story time, considering it's October. I know a lot of people do story times of paranormal experiences they've had in their life. I've had very few, but the ones I have had, they've been noticeable. I thought I would do the video out here because it's the sun's starting to go down, the moon's out right here, and I don't know if you can hear it, but the pond right over here, the frogs are going insane. This is part of where I live. This is my front yard I'm in, and that is the field right next to me. The one I'm wanting to do today is, I used to work at a bed and breakfast. I'm not going to say the name just for the protection of whatever. But when I was 18, I was with my ex at the time, and it was like my second job. It was a bed and breakfast, and the plantation area that this house is built on, the foundation and everything was built in the late 1800s. It used to be, if I'm not mistaken, this is what I was told whenever I started working there. It used to be a boys' home back then in the 1800s. So like for kids who were in trouble a lot and stuff, they would be sent to this boys' home. And then shortly, several years after that, it became a nursing home. And as you know, nursing homes, obviously, people die in a nursing home. But before the actual place was built, the underneath area, like the basement, you will, it was for slaves. When I worked there, they kept it all. Oh my God. There are like thousands of birds over here in front of me. I don't know if you can see. It won't let me zoom, but there are so many birds flying around. Anyway, straighten this up. Where was I? Oh yeah, slaves. They had slaves in the very basement area. They closed it off while I was working there. Something about there was writings on the wall, chains in there and stuff, and they just thought it'd be better to keep it locked away. Sorry if you hear a bunch of noise. My neighbors are sawing something, and I'm like, it's almost nighttime. Why are you working on your house? Anyway, so it was a nursing home, and then it wasn't anything for the longest time, and then they decided to make it a bed and breakfast, the people who bought the place. And when I got hired there, they did tell me that this place was haunted. Like, they said, my cousin, which was the main chef there in the cafe part of it, he was the chef. He said that, late at night while he was closing up, he'd hear little girls giggling in the back of the building. The maid said that she's heard whispering when nobody was there. Stuff going past the mirrors in the rooms in the corner of your eye. They would see like a figure go past. Stuff knocking over and breaking. Just a bunch of weird things happening, paranormal stuff happening. And I'm like, I didn't really have much paranormal stuff happen to me anyway in the past, so I was just like, at first I didn't believe in stuff. I was like, I don't know if I was kind of on the fence about believing in that stuff. I wasn't sure, if it was real or not. But after working there, I definitely believe in the paranormal and spirits roaming the earth and everything. I only worked there 4 months, and in the 4 months, things were happening. I didn't feel threatened, I guess. I didn't feel scared or anything, just kind of, oh my God, do you see that? Do you see all the birds? There are so many birds. What's going on? Why are there so many birds? That's creepy. There's a car coming by, so hold on. Okay, it was just my neighbor. They're probably like, what is that girl doing talking to herself? So anyway, nothing happened the first couple weeks that I worked there. And then there was this one day that I was the only person there working because it was like a Monday. It was very slow. And something about one of the girls called in. I was the only one there, but there was like nobody that showed up that day. It was so weird because normally we would at least get a few guests, but there was nobody. So I would clean up the dining area, and they wanted me to go clean the rooms so that I have something to do, get paid for doing some work. And they said, just be careful when you go into room 3. I was like, why? And they said, apparently people who've stayed in there have noticed very weird things happening in there. So just clean it quickly, get out as quick as you can if you feel uneasy. So I started cleaning rooms. I saved number 3 for last just because I was kind of nervous about it. And as soon as I walked into that room, I'm not even kidding, this cold, it was freezing. All the rooms were set at the exact same temperature. But this room was cold. I felt cold. I felt this heavy uneasiness as soon as I walked past the door in that room. And there were like 3 mirrors in that room, and I couldn't get myself to look in the mirrors. I was afraid to look in the mirrors because of this uneasy feeling. So I hurried up and cleaned up the room and everything, and I just felt so uneasy. Nothing happened in there, but like nothing actual physical happened. I just had this horrible, just like feeling over me, and I could tell something was in that room. And because I had an uneasy feeling, I didn't want to provoke it. I didn't want to ask, is anyone in here, so yeah. And then, what else? One day I was working, it was a slow day, and I'm putting up dishes and everything in this little cabinet area, and I walk over to I turn around, I walk over to the refrigerator to get something out, and I hear something bust. And I turn around, and there's a cup on the floor, busted into shreds. And I know for a fact that I put those cups all the way pushed away to where they wouldn't fall over. So something was pushing glasses around. So that was something weird that happened. Hold on just a second. Figures all my neighbors would decide to make a bunch of noises when it's getting dark outside. Like, you've had all day to do stuff now. Why are you making a bunch of noise now? Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the glass fell and all that. So that was creepy, and silly me being curious as I am, because like nobody was there except my boss, and she was in her office doing all kinds of paperwork. So I creeped down to where the cellar is, and obviously the doors are completely padlocked. There's like 5 locks on it, you can't get in. But I just wanted to see what would happen if I walked down there and stood there for a few minutes. So I crouched down there because I'm afraid I'm gonna get seen by my boss, but and I just got this very sad feeling, like not a dark feeling, not a hating feeling, just like sadness, like, and I've really felt bad, like, because I heard that there were slaves that were, back years and years ago that were in that cellar, into slavery and everything. So it just made me feel like I had this really overwhelming sadness feeling when I was down there. So I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna leave whatever spirits are here alone. And then the last thing that ever happened to me was shortly after I quit working there. And by the way, the reason why I quit working there, I would have stayed there, but they became bankrupt. The people that bought the place weren't very responsible with their money, and they couldn't keep the place, so all their employees had to leave. But the last thing that happened was shortly before I left there, and this is the thing that made me like okay, there's definitely stuff going on in this place. So I was cleaning, I was dusting and stuff, and mind you, there are no windows open, no doors open, nothing going on. And I remember seeing the front door closed because the owner always closes it and locks it. And she had to run out for an errand, so it was just me there by myself. And the chef wasn't going to be there for another like 30 minutes, so I was there for 30 minutes by myself. And so I just started cleaning, doing my duties. I was dusting there's a, what do they call it, lobby area, and it's got old pictures on the wall and like old Western pictures and stuff on the wall. And I remember seeing that door closed because she always closes it and locks it. I went in the cupboard area to get all the cleaning supplies. When I walked in, the door was cracked about this much. The front door was cracked open. And I was like, did she not close that all the way? But I seen her close it. So I'm just like in my mind thinking, okay, that's weird. So I walk over there like I normally do, and I go to close it, and I don't even touch the handle. Like, here's the handle, and I do this, and it slams shut. Like, not even a small, like, it slams shut, and I don't even touch it. And my throat, like, oh my God, my throat closed up. That terrified me because it didn't feel nice. Whatever it was didn't feel nice, and it didn't want me there, obviously. And I think because I believe in God, and I'm a very light and spiritual person, so maybe they didn't like that. Maybe they felt threatened about that or something. So, yeah, that was freaky. And I looked around. I looked all through the rooms. Well, not all the rooms, but like the office and the cafe room, which was right there next to the lobby. And all windows were closed. There was no air blowing in to slam that door shut. So I knew it had to have been a spirit of some kind. So that was creepy. And like, I have no doubt in my mind, 110% that place is haunted. That foundation there is haunted. And I feel like not in a good way. Like, the spirits that are there, I feel like are sad, and some of them are angry, and they're stuck in purgatory, and they feel like maybe they need to pass on. And if I was brave enough, I would totally go there and with a spirit box and see what's going on. Like, yeah. So yeah, that's my paranormal story time for you guys for this October season. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you liked the little scenery of me being outside, all witchy looking and everything. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. And if you want to hear another story time video similar to this, that I do have one or two other paranormal experiences that have happened in my life. If you want me to share, just let me know, and comment, subscribe, and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.